Hi. So today I saw Tron Ares. Great. To start off, I'd like to say I'm not a big Tron fan. Up until today, I hadn't even seen the first one. I watched the original one today before going to the theater, seeing Tron Ares. So no, I have not seen Tron Legacy. What a shame. I wasn't even really that big of a fan of the original. I mean, it looked alright visually. Story wasn't really that interesting for me. And I didn't think they put enough emphasis on the explanation of anything that was going on. But this is not a review of the original movie. This is a review of Tron Ares, starring Jared Leto. What a man. Jared Leto is an interesting creature. I'd say he's not even really human. He's kind of a subspecies of human in a way. He's like this strange organism that exists within the Hollywood nest. But today, Mr. Jared Leto scammed me out of $45. Oh yeah, and Disney is also the corporation that created this mess. So, I'm not too happy with them either. I'm not gonna be the guy that's gonna say, this is the worst thing I've ever seen in my entire life. Because it's not, but I have seen Suicide Squad 2016, and that is possibly one of the worst films I've ever seen, and that has Jared Leto in it. So I'm noticing a common factor. Can this man act? Yeah, I'm not saying he can't act. Should he act? Maybe not. Okay. I'm gonna try and be nice. The soundtrack of the film is pretty good. There's a lot of rumbling bass noises. I enjoyed that. They had a moment in the film where Paranoid by Black Sabbath started playing, and then it stopped. They could have continued the song, and it would have still suited the scene to an extent, but they chose not to do that, and then used the original score instead. And I'm not against focusing on the original score of a film more than just, licensed music. But I do think in that moment, it would have been more tasteful to use the licensed music that they had already started playing, but then cut off randomly. Visually, I mean, sure, it's impressive technologically, but it kind of made my eyes a little sore staring at those intense red lights so much. The bad guy of the movie, I don't remember his name. Don't expect me to remember his name. He's not interesting enough to remember his name. You know what? I think the only person I remember the name of was Ares, because he's the name of the movie. Is that a bad sign? I think that's a bad sign. It's a stupid movie, and it takes itself seriously. Why? I don't understand when a movie has a very obviously silly plot and they take themselves seriously. And in the moments where it doesn't take itself seriously, it's so out of left field. They try to add in humor. There's this one car ride scene with Jared Leto and the other character of the movie that is in this movie. And they're in the car together and he starts randomly talking about the 80s. And then this moment onwards, the character really, really likes the 80s. Ares loves to mention that he loves the 80s. In fact, I think I recall 2 or 3 times where he specifically states, I love the 80s, or I like the 80s. And then anytime something 80s related happens, he says, classic. Come on, man. Is this how you show that your robot character has feelings? Great, he likes the 80s. Apparently a lot of people in Hollywood like the 80s a lot because so much stuff is 80s nostalgia nowadays. Can we just have Stranger Things and let it stay there? Can we leave it at Stranger Things? Do we have to let it infest every other movie? I'm so sick of legacy sequels. I really am. I'm sick of sequels in general. I only have a few movies I want to see sequels for, and that's like Beetlejuice 3 and Sherlock Holmes 3. And I guess Once Upon a Time in Hollywood too. But outside of those 3 movies, I don't want to see big franchises continuing on for so long. I'm sick of all of this crap. And you know what? I guess, look, the original visually is interesting. I can see why someone of the times would have enjoyed it, but from my mind, looking at it from without the bias of having it come out in my generation and seeing, visuals that don't really, they're not as impressive nowadays. I get that. I know that people loved it because it looked great aesthetically at the time. I get that, and I'm not even bothered by it not looking good in the original one. It's mostly just I don't enjoy the plot or the concept is interesting, but I feel like the way they go about it wasn't interesting. I was hoping that this one would put more effort into explaining the concepts and the way things work and how they're doing the things they're doing and why, but they didn't do that enough to my satisfaction. A character will sort of just create an orange tree out of thin air with their technology. And look, maybe they did explain it and I wasn't listening properly. But as far as my memory serves me, I do not recall them actually explaining how they were creating this orange tree out of thin air. Now, maybe this is some sort of physics thing that was explained in Tron Legacy that I was not there for because I haven't seen that movie. But as far as I know, I have no understanding of how the technology in this universe works or why it works or what they did to make it work. And I'm kind of sick of Tron, and I've only seen 2 of the movies, and I saw them both in the same day. Maybe I'll go watch Tron Legacy to see if I missed something important. I did get a Jeff Bridges cameo. I wanted to like it. It's not like I didn't want to like it. I go into things wanting to enjoy it, because I did spend money on it. But I didn't really like this movie very much. I was thinking when I first came out of the theater 4.5, but after some more reconsideration, I think the score I'm going to have to give for Tron Ares is a 3.5 out of 10. I think that might be the lowest score I've given something so far on my reviews. But yeah, look, if you saw the movie and you enjoyed it, good on you. I'm really glad and I'm happy for you. But I just didn't enjoy it myself. Please don't hate on me for that. But yeah, Tron Ares is a movie and it does exist and you can watch it. Anyway, bye!